Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Mindfully Rich podcast, your weekly look at life and finances with a twist, where we talk about improving your overall relationship with money and building better financial habits. On each episode, I'll discuss real life situations and give y'all practical advice. The point of this podcast is to help you stay in your financial lane so you won't end up broke. I'm the creator and host, Gina Richie Richardson. Now, let's jump into today's conversation. What's up, y'all? You already know, gotta start with the gratitude. Thank you to everyone out there who has been listening. And child, y'all have been listening. Do you hear me? Last week, I had the best week of listens ever. I am so grateful. I am so thankful. I cannot say enough how much I appreciate y'all for being the Rich Gang. That's the reason why your girl been working hard to bring you some new content. And y'all, for Financial Literacy Month, I am launching my new visual series, Mindfully Rich Conversations about Money. Y'all, this has been a labor of love. Because I love having deep conversations, I wanted to try something different. I have brought y'all 113 episodes of me solo, so I decided to bring on some very special guests so that they can drop some gems about money, just because everybody done been through something in their own financial life. And I said, why not bring on some guests, some successful guests who have lived and they have learned some lessons. And I want you to hear some of their perspectives, hear some of the gems that they have about money, because being in this industry, I don't know what it is, but learning from others and some of the mistakes, some of the successes, the things that they have learned from their money experiences can help you with yours. So, without further ado, I bring to you Mindfully Rich Conversations about Money. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Gina Richie Richardson, and I am ecstatic to introduce y'all to my new Mindfully Rich Conversations about Money, which I'm so excited. Most of y'all know me from my podcast, the Mindfully Rich Podcast. I wanted to start something that would be a little different, a little deeper. I'm a Capricorn, so I wanted to talk, of course, about money, because money and finance is my life. I am the money girl and your accountability partner. And so I started something new where we're going to have mindfully rich conversations about money, where I'm going to have my friends and friends in my head come on, and we're going to have some conversations all circled around money and finance. And so you can expect a new guest each week. And I am hoping that these conversations are inspirational, they're motivational, and they can help you with unpacking your own financial situation. And I also want to bring notice that everyone has their own financial struggles. And I want to talk about how we went through those struggles together and different advices that people have received along the way to help them with their money and finance, and just all around, just good conversation. Okay. And today, you can see my guest who is here with me. I have my friend Rico Beans, who is here. Rico, hello, and thank you once again.
Hello.
Yes, thank you so much for being here on the Mindfully Rich Conversations about Money. And so, Rico, first, before we start getting into our conversation, if you could just let everybody know just a few details about yourself, who you are, just let them know some details about you.
Okay. Hey, I'm just a guy from just outside of Memphis, Tennessee. I am a investor. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a new author, and I'm a money enthusiast. I like to call myself a poverty escape artist because
Oh,
I grew up in poverty, and
writing
I've
that
been
down.
I've been
Poverty is
spending the rest. I've been spending my life just escaping it and trying to help others do the same.
I like that. Escape artist. And then also you said money enthusiast.
I'm a money enthusiast.
I,
Yes.
I like that. I can't really pronounce it. And everybody that been watching my podcast, they know that I have struggles with different words. So that's what I'm gonna call it. But it is going in my bio. So don't say nothing when you see that in my bio.
All good. All good.
And so this is brand new. So this is my first episode of the Mindfully Rich conversations about money. And Rico, I'm super excited to have you here. As Rico said, he is a author. He is a brand new author, which we're going to talk about his book a little later. But we're going to go ahead and jump into our conversation. And so I prepared a few questions. I want to with this, I wanted to kind of mimic Oprah Super Soul Sunday. Oprah is my auntie in my head. She is also a mentor to me in my head. Okay. And one day we're going to know each other. All right.
Yes.
Have you listened to Oprah Super Soul Sunday before?
Just one, but
Okay.
I know it's fantastic.
Oh my God. She has
Yeah.
guests. It's good. She follows, like, she has conversations, but she also has like questions that she asks each guest. And so that's something that I wanted to do here and something that we will be doing. And so I wanted to know, my first question for you is, how does your upbringing affect your relationship with money?
That's a great question. Like I said before, I'm a poverty escape artist. I grew up very humble beginnings. I watched my single mother, who was working a factory job, lose her job, and we moved to the projects. So I was
Mhm.
in a house, and then we were in the projects, laying down because folks shooting at night.
Mm,
Crazy, just a complete change. And the way it's impacted my life and my thoughts on money is, I wanted to never be reliant on any form of income, whether it be a job or anything. So I've always been thinking about what's the side hustle, what's the other stream of income that I can have in order to reduce my reliance on any source.
mm. Oh man, but you want to know what? Dodging bullets teaches you another skill that we need in life too. I don't know. There's something to be said, especially being raised in the hood. That's one thing that I think of to myself. Like, I could live anywhere just because of my upbringings.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It it's something that you didn't know you needed until you get out, and you be like, "This a good. I learned this from that."
Oh yeah, I'm not afraid of too much. I tell you that.
And
Ev-
even and even struggling in that way, because you've had to struggle, it's not something that is new to you, so it's just like, it's always that, I mean, how am I going to get out of this situation? And so, with what you mentioned, with your relationship with money, I would say, i want I'm trying to figure out how I want to ask this. Do you feel like you learned a scarcity mindset, or did you learn abundance growing up?
That's a good question. I think I started off with the scarcity mindset of just not wanting to. I was always afraid of being without. I was always afraid of not having. So I was always making, I thought, good decisions. Like, I mean, my friends would clown me because, like, I had an apartment. I didn't have cable.
Yeah,
I was in the military making good money, but I always kept my costs low. I didn't start
yeah.
like actually spending money for a long time.
Oh, right. So I'm gonna assume that that had to be scarcity.
Oh yeah, it was a scarcity mindset at first, but then
Uh-huh.
a shift happened, and we can talk about that too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the only reason why I ask that is just because a lot of people, they don't understand that their relationship with money starts on how you were raised, and what those upbringings look like. I shared that with you, where initially I didn't want to spend money. Once I started making money, I didn't want to spend it because I was just like, is it gonna come back to me? Am I gonna be able to have enough to do all these other things? Like, I didn't go on vacation, I didn't buy nice things for myself or anything. And so, which leads us to, going into the next question. What is the most difficult decision you've had to make financially?
The most difficult decision I had to make financially, I would say, I've had to make a few difficult financial situations. One is, I don't know if it's a difficult situation, but I'll tell you a story.
Yeah,
Um, so I just left the military and I got a civilian job. I was making what I thought was great money,
yeah,
and so this is that time when I started spending money, right?
yeah.
And so I left my apartment, went to a dealership. I was going to get a brand new uh, BMW, right?
Okay.
I called my brother, my big brother, to tell him, like, bro, I'm about to get like this really nice BMW. I just put up to the dealership. I'm thinking my brother is going to be excited about my purchase.
Yeah.
No, my brother said, "Dude, you don't even own a house. You're about to spend all that money on a car."
Yeah.
And let me tell you, Gina, I immediately embarrassed, because this is my big brother.
Yeah.
I left the dealership, went home to my apartment, and like within a couple months, I bought my first piece of real estate, which became my first investment property.
Right. Okay. So your brother taught you priorities.
Yeah, priority, because I'm thinking like I made it. Like
Yeah.
I've
I gotta get a
I've
BMW.
sacrificed. I made it. You're supposed to have a luxury car.
Right.
When you made it, and where I grew up, that's the mindset we had.
Yeah.
Like we put money into a car before we put money into anything else. You
Right.
might not have anything, but you had a nice car.
Right. Because that was the status symbol of making it.
Yeah, I'm making it. So I was like, I'm getting a new car. I'm gonna call my family, let them know like I've arrived.
Right.
You know,
Not call to let them know I've arrived.
you
Okay.
know.
This new car is finna show you.
Oh
This is
yeah, oh
this is
yeah. I'm like, this is the one,
oh
and he's
man.
like, that's not it.
So at that time, do you mind sharing what was your income at that time?
Yeah. So I got a new job. I got a 15,000 signing bonus. I
Okay.
was making $70,000 a year base salary, living in
Okay.
South Carolina.
What year is
Um,
this? And 70,000 is a lot in South Carolina.
$7,000 is a lot in South Carolina, especially in 2008.
No shade to South Carolina. I'm just saying. You
That's
got
a
people.
lot of money in 2008. I
It
remember when I
sure
went,
is.
and this how I knew. This how I knew I made it, because when I went uh to my new apartment,
Yeah.
uh, the leasing agent looked at my salary. She said, "You a single black man making $70,000 in Columbia, South Carolina?"
That's why I was just like, for the listeners, I want everybody to really be able to like picture this because I had a job in 2015 making 38.5 in 2015 in California. So that's the reason why I'm just kind of like, all right, set the stage. I want everybody to know where you was living at and what that salary was because that's a lot of money at that time.
Oh yeah, and it was like, I mean, I'd never seen that amount of money. I didn't have too many family members that had seen that kind of income
Yeah.
on top of a pension and other benefits. So this was life changing to me.
Oh, absolutely. Now I see why you was going to go get a BMW.
Oh yeah, I was like, I'm going to the dealership. Like
Yeah,
we've arrived.
you. The lady at the place, she's shocked. I didn't made it. I got to go get a BMW now at this point. That's hilarious. So moving on from that, what was your biggest struggle in your finances, and how did you recover from it?
So this is an interesting thing. So I started measuring like my finances in pretty good detail, probably 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and I was making great money. I mean, like really great money.
Yeah.
Um, so I did this calculation called net worth, right?
Okay.
And so I looked at all of my assets, all of my debt, everything. And even though I was making over $200,000 a year, my net worth was negative.
Rico, go back. Did you say over 200?
Yeah,
Jesus.
I was making over 200,000 a year, and my net worth was negative. Because you're never taught to look at net worth, right? You're
Yeah.
just like, so I started looking at net worth and cash flow and all these different things,
Yeah.
and I decided that I was going to change that.
Yeah.
Um, and as I did the research and start seeing like, that people that look like me were also dealing with this, I
Yeah.
thought, let me try something out. Let me try an experiment for myself, and I'm going to see if I can change my net worth from negative
Mm-hmm.
and turn it to positive. And I've been able to do that.
Yeah. So when you were looking at that, so it's like when I mean, because first of all, a lot of people would say, "Dang, $200,000 is a lot of money." Okay, I've never seen that, but Lord, from my mouth, Enrico's mouth to your ears, that's going to be my story. Okay. But when you were looking at that, what was going on? Like, if you could just kind of explain, because I want to make sure that like we go deeper. Just because we would all see this and just say you're making over $200,000, that must be good. But you saw that there was something that was wrong, because in looking at your total net worth, meaning there must be something on the side of liabilities that is making your net worth be negative. So if you could, if you don't mind, and
Yeah,
you want to stop, but it's just like I want to make sure that people are able to see, relate, and then also understand what that looks like, especially so somebody else can feel seen, that somebody else may be going through the same thing. So what does
yeah,
it look like?
yeah, and I'll say, different income means different things in different places.
Yeah.
So, I'm living in the Bay Area, which is still good income anywhere, but it's not as good income in the Bay Area as it would be, say, in South Carolina.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
you know, but I had student loan debt. I had I had medical bills,
Yeah.
different things. So I'm like, and then just my circle. Like, I
Yeah.
started being connected to people who are really focused on freedom
Yeah.
and sort of escaping the rat race. And
Okay.
so being in these circles with other people who were having these conversations, I started, really looking at my financial picture, my financial situation.
Yeah.
And that caused me to say, okay, um, I'm doing well, but I could do better.
Okay.
And and it doesn't matter how much money you're making. It's
Yeah.
about, like, how much money you're keeping, how you're managing it, and what you're
Oh,
doing
please.
with it.
Oh, say that again. I have to tell people that all the time. As a financial educator, people always think, "Oh, that figure that I see on my salary, that's how much money I'm making." Oh no, that's not how much money you're making. So you got that gross amount, then you have the net amount that you really make. But it's not about how much money you make; it's about how much money you're able to keep.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to be a steward of your income. And so you got to know your financial picture. So that's what I was doing. I was looking at it and I was like, wait, this is not looking like I'm thinking it's supposed to be looking.
Yeah, yeah. I totally get that. You mentioned student loans, just because student loans, especially for us as millennials, like it's just a dreaded word. It's like it's basically a cuss word now when you say student loans. And a lot of people, they probably feel, just because you've mentioned it, and this is kind of like off the cuff, a lot of people feel like they're unable to make a lot of financial moves, and they feel so buried in their student loan debt. And so when you brought up student loans and you were seeing where you were at, was there a plan that you were able to put together with getting those student loans paid off? Because I don't know where you're at in your student loan journey, so I'm taking a shot in the dark on this one. But what was there, like a plan, or what did you do in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, I looked at my overall financial picture. Student loans was part of it. Like, I had undergrad student loans, I had graduate student loan. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna definitely pay off my undergraduate student loans.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I had a plan of things I was gonna tackle,
Okay.
and so it was both reducing expenses,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's the other thing. Like, I talk about multiple streams of income,
Right,
and so
right.
that became my plan too. It's like, okay, I'm gonna reduce costs,
Mhm.
but I'm a business guy, so I'm always thinking about things from the lens of a CEO. And
Right.
as a CEO, you're not it's not just about reducing costs. It's like, how can I increase the amount of income that I have in order to pay off this
Absolutely.
debt. So that
Absolutely.
was the plan.
And that's good. And I want everybody to hear that, because even with you making all of the money that you were making, you were still trying to figure out what are other ways that I can make more so that I can get these things paid off.
Yeah, because this is a thing that happens. I call it the entrance fee that you have to pay to get to some of the higher paying jobs and careers. And
Yeah.
so, to get into the career I was in, now I'm in mergers and acquisitions, of buying companies,
Hmm.
um, in finance. So I had to go to a really good school in order to
Yeah.
um, to get in the club, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I had to pay.
Pay to play?
I had to pay to play, right? And it cost me. And I wasn't like some of my classmates. I didn't come from an elite family. I didn't come
A silver
from.
spoon where, nepotism was gonna just be a part of their, thing. Make
No, no, I was in the fifth generation
right,
of wealth, so I had to pony up some money and take some debt in order to get in the game, and
right.
so I had to figure it out.
Yeah. Would you now just thinking about that, how do you feel about that decision now?
I think it was the right decision to get in the game. I don't like that that's what we have to do. I don't like that in
Don't
this
like
country we have to get so much debt in order to
Mhm.
have the best opportunities.
Yeah.
But it's proven to be a good investment.
Yeah.
Um, it just came with a large tax.
Yes. Absolutely. And you mentioned being a businessman. How many businesses do we have?
Oh my goodness. Uh, I've started a couple. I started a snack and activity box company.
Uh-huh.
I got into coloring books and activity books, so I have those on Amazon. That is passive income for me.
Yes.
And then um, real estate. Real estate has been good for me, so I've been investing in real estate. Um, a little bit of multifamily, single family,
Okay.
and then international. So I got into an international deal in Mexico with a
Okay.
couple other brothers and sisters. So you know,
Yeah.
black folks
Come
investing
on.
in property, international property, and that's been going well.
Look at that.
So
Amazing.
I believe in cooperative economics. If that if there's nothing else that I would tell people is find like-minded people, pool your
Absolutely.
resources,
Hmm.
and figure out what you can do. And that's what we did. We bought property in Mexico, rental property, and it's making income for us. So it's been a
Good
blessing.
deal. Good deal. That leads me into my next question that I want to ask you, just because I want you to describe how your mindset has changed about how you earn money, just because you just named some things of how you earn money that I wouldn't have been able to see as a child, that I wouldn't have even knew even existed as a way to earn money. It's something about growing up in the hood where you only see this much, so you only feel you can go here. Right. But all of the things that you just mentioned were like way up there, sky's the limit type talk, on some biggie stuff. So how has your mindset changed about, since, being a child, and how you grew up to now? How has your mindset changed about how you earn money?
Yeah, I have a different mindset. Like I believe that whatever I put my mind to, I can achieve, and it's my abilities that are inside of me that is going to allow me to be successful. Um, I stumbled across this guy named Earl Nightingale. If you
Mhm.
haven't had the chance, there's this recording called "The Strangest Secret."
Mm.
I think is the most powerful thing. So I coach, and one of the things I have everybody who I coach listen to is "The Strangest Secret," and that's changed my mindset because one of the things that recording says is that success uh, it's a progressive is the progressive action toward a worthy ideal. So
Okay.
you're always thinking about something that you want to accomplish, and you're always creating some goals that you accomplish. So I always have goals that I'm working towards, and
Okay.
that's changed my mindset. And so because I wrote those goals, and let me tell you, this is how amazing this is, right? I wrote down what I wanted my net worth to be. I wrote down that I wanted to buy real estate. I
Okay.
wrote down the income that I wanted to make, and I listened to this recording almost every week,
Okay.
and I recorded what I wanted because that's what the recording says to go do, right?
Uh-huh.
And I looked up, just went back to it. I was like, dang, I've actually hit everything that I wrote down and said that I was going to go do, that I recorded myself going to do. So my mindset is really really shifted. Like I don't believe there's any limits. If there's something that I want
Mm-hmm.
to achieve, I just figure out how I can do it. I used to say like, what can I afford?
Mm-hmm.
Now I say, how can I afford it, or how can I do
Mm.
it?
Okay.
You know,
The
so it,
shifting words, shifting those words up. So almost like not tricking your mind, but it's just like digging down into that subconscious to like instead of saying I want to have, I have this, so just switching those words up a little bit for your subconscious.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly it.
All right, good deal. Well, that leads me into, since learning how your mindset has changed, what does earning money do for your life? Like, what does that do for you? Just because I feel like we all make money, we all aspire to have a lot of money, but what does that do for your life? What does that mean for your life? The ability to be able to earn money and do it in multiple ways in the way that you do it.
Yeah, this is an interesting thing. Because people that don't really know me, they may think like, oh, he's really just focused on money, but money's not my goal at all. Like
Mhm. It's
it's
always another. That's the reason why I asked this, just because there's always something else. Money is just the currency to get to the thing that we're trying to get to.
yeah, yeah, money is just it's a tool.
Yeah.
My goal is freedom.
Oh,
My goal is freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of
yes.
location,
Oh,
freedom to do whatever I want to do, freedom to spend time with the people that I love and care about. And so everything
absolutely.
I do is to give me that freedom. And so I know what that number is,
Yeah.
and with inflation it changes,
Yes. Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
I know what that number is, and so everything I do is towards that number.
Hmm.
Is towards getting that freedom. And so
Absolutely.
whether I'm starting a business or an investment,
Hmm.
I'm going back and seeing, okay, how far am I away from that number and from
Yeah.
that freedom. I call it I call it getting my freedom papers.
Come on.
You got to get your freedom papers. Listen,
Absolutely.
like I don't like going to a job and having somebody tell me what I have to do and having my livelihood dependent on if
Yeah.
somebody don't like me or something
Absolutely.
changes and they decide they don't need me anymore. And
Yeah.
so I work towards that. Like, how can I get free?
Yeah, I mean, just because, and it's like, and just for everybody listening, of course, a lot of people, majority of people, they work in jobs, but it's learning that I could be gone tomorrow. Like something like you have the ability to just say, we don't need you no more, and everything is at will, right? So although they're paying me this, I can be gone tomorrow just like that. They can make that decision. That was something that I learned in last year, from an old employer that I worked for, that I thought I would just be there, but it was just like things can change just like that. So being able to, as you described, get your freedom papers, being able to work towards something entrepreneurship, of course, you're not going to get wealthy just at a job. It
No,
That's not where
it's
wealth
not gonna
comes.
happen.
Right. You have to have that entrepreneurial spirit and be able to work towards, as you called it, getting your freedom papers, because that's what earning money does for you. It means it's gathering you that freedom to be able to do those things. I relate to you on that. For me, it is gaining stability. I am a Capricorn earth sign. I need stability, I need security, the freedom, and I need access. All
Mm,
earning money does all of those things for me. I want to be able to do it when I need to do it, be able to have it, because growing up, not that, and this is the thing, I feel like when you grow up and you're lower class, right?
right.
Um, I'm not gonna say poor. I'm going to say maybe more month than money type of household, or maybe you weren't able to have the things that you needed, growing up on the food stamps, growing up, going without those things, just because you only have up to here, right? This is the
Right.
ladder. You go up to here. Growing up in those situations, I'll say for me was like, I want money. For me, earning money is bringing the stability that I always feel like I need into my life, bringing the security that I need in my life. My children are getting older. I want to be able to provide for them and be able to pay for the things for them to do. And if they want to try this, I want, because everything costs money. Everything costs. Like I wish
Facts.
that I could pay people in hugs. I'm a great hugger. Okay. I am good at the hugs, but I can't pay with hugs. So everything costs money. And so I can remember growing up when my grandmother would be like, money isn't everything. And I'm not saying that money is everything, but you need it for damn near everything. So earning it is our access, is our ticket, into getting the access, into getting the freedom, into getting the stability, into getting the security. And so there's always a deeper meaning. So not that it's the love of money, it's the love of making sure my life is secure and stable, and the freedom that I want to have in it. And so I thought that was a powerful question. That was the reason why I wanted to ask.
No, that's a great question, and I think people have to understand is you don't have to make a lot of money
Hmm.
to make your money work for you.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I started when I first started investing. I was in the military.
Hmm.
I don't know how much people know about the military, but we don't make a lot of money, especially when you're starting off. You don't make a lot of money, and so you have to. It was $50 a month.
Hmm.
You know, just a habit of putting something away.
Absolutely. And it's like, but this is the thing. And so, Rico, like, I'm gonna say this, and you can speak towards, those youngins that are in the military. Um, you only know what you know. So when they don't know it, it's like, how do they get that information? Which I'm working on, because I want to be a part of before y'all even they go off to MEPS. Like, let me get to them so we could talk about some things, or which we're gonna get to this book. Let someone like yourself, or let financial educators as a whole be able to really talk to them, just because I don't think that education is there. We know that the education isn't in the schools the way that it needs to, but when you only know what how do you invest?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I was fortunate that there were kind of three things that helped me out.
Hmm.
One is books,
Yeah.
and I discovered a book that a lot of people discovered, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then I
Okay.
found another book that was I can't remember the title exactly, but it was Black and Green, I think it was the name, but it was like what Black people need to know about money, and that was a great introduction into financial
Okay.
education, and then just being lucky to just meet people. I always tell people, find your circle, find good
Hmm.
people that know more than you. I met a senior master sergeant, a brother who was getting ready to retire, and we were deployed to Afghanistan, and he was like, I was on the computer investing. I was like, "What are you doing?" And
Yeah.
he's like, Lieutenant, you need to you need to learn about this. So he was showing me about like investing in the market,
Yeah.
and and I became more curious about that. So just meeting great people that are willing to teach you, but you gotta seek those people out and follow those
Absolutely.
people, find them. What you're doing, Gina. That type of financial education and the content that you're providing. I mean,
Hmm.
that's a start, right?
Yeah. It is. And it's always, and that's why I say I'm always just like, there is way more out there. I just want to get the conversation started about money. I just want to get it on your mind. I just want to get you thinking about it. But there are so many other, resources in the world. And I'm glad that you said that, especially reading. Now, I'm not a visual reader. I am definitely an audible person. And I can listen to some stuff, but it's just like putting it in your mind, just because, t- I don't know. Every day I'm learning. Time is slipping away from me. So things that
Yeah.
I wish I would have started investing, long, way back in the day when I was 18, and seeing where I could have been now, if I was investing a certain amount of money at those times. And I talk about that just because I want youngins to hear that and say, okay, she said she wished she would have did it. Let me start then. It must be something to that.
Man, I wish I started when I was like 18 or 19.
Me
Whew.
too. Me too. Just looking at where we could be. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason. I live under that principle. So it's like, we learn what we learn, and we have these stories that we can give to others. So that way they know you don't have to wait. We waited, but you don't have to wait, because we didn't know. Now you know. And that's what I talk about in schools when I go and talk with especially seniors in high schools and college students, just letting them know what those lessons look like, things that I missed out on that I don't want them to miss out on.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
All right. So, what is a financial gem that someone has offered you along? throughout your life that you keep with you and you use to this day?
Mm. I will tell you one that sticks with me all the time is you're paid for your value, not your time.
Mm.
And so you have to always be understanding your value and improving your value. Even if you don't have a single investment, but you're working a 9 to 5 job, invest in yourself to increase your skill set, your knowledge, so that you increase your value.
Okay. I'm going to say in the money and finance world, is that something that you think people should use when it comes to like negotiate? I that sounds like a negotiation of pay type of tactic.
Absolutely. You need to understand like, hey, if the requirements are this, but you have these skills above and
Hmm.
beyond that, you need to ask for money and always negotiate.
Yeah. And knowing your value, because a lot of people, I don't feel like they know their value. When you said that, I don't feel like a lot of people know their value. And I can't say that I always knew mine. As much as I know about, money and finance, I didn't get really good at negotiating until probably about maybe 9 years ago.
Oh yeah, I mean, as a hiring manager, I've often asked people, what do you want? And I'm surprised at how low people will go. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you can get more.
Yeah.
You can get more. You're worth more than that. Even
Yeah.
when I'm coaching people, and they're thinking like, oh, I think I can get this. I'm like, no, I think you can get more than that.
Okay. Well,
I think
okay,
you can get
coach.
more than that.
So
Yeah.
since we're here, when we're talking about salary negotiations and you being a hiring manager, how much more? I mean, it's always good. First, you got to do your research. So you got to know your market value of the role itself, right? How much more do you tell people or your clients that they should ask for more, or like a percentage?
Um, Generally, it's a negotiation. So generally, the first offer is always going to be bottom of the range, lower in the range. It may be even be in the middle of the range if it
Mm-hmm.
depending on the company, but there
Yeah.
it's never at the top of the range. So I mean, at least 10 to 15% more. You got at least 10 to 15% more
Okay.
that you can get. Um,
Okay, so I feel like we're in alignment because that's what I normally say. Okay, this feels right. Okay. Question for you. So even for because somebody listening to this is just want to hear this. I just feel it in my being, that they want to hear this. Even if a role says it goes to this amount, say if they posted the beginning and end, do you think is there more wiggle room? What you think?
it depends. A lot of times there is, and it depends on who you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of times you're talking with HR, they're going to say this is it.
Yeah.
But if that hiring manager really wants you
Yeah.
and you bring what they want to the table, they'll figure it out. And there's always other things. This is the thing, you have to be creative too. Like if the salary's a certain range and you feel like you want more, there's other
Mm-hmm.
things. Ask for a larger sign-on bonus. Ask for a lot of people don't even ask for a sign-on bonus.
And that's the thing. A lot of people don't know if they can. So I mean, I've never received a sign-on bonus. Never.
Ask for one. You'd be surprised. You
Never.
say, "Hey, look, I'm looking for this. This is where I am."
Yeah.
And especially when you know they want you, hey, we're ready to make you an offer. They made you an offer.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you really can say, okay, this is what I want, and ask for it. And if they can't come with that, ask for something else. Ask for if they offer stock, ask for stock. If they offer a sign-on bonus, ask for a sign-on bonus. If they're only giving you 3 weeks, ask for 4 weeks
Okay.
of
Now
vacation.
that I know, I want all the vacation.
Ask for something. Like I'm always asking for something. I never say, oh, this is good. I always think there's something on the table. No
Yeah.
one no one's giving you it's rare that people are giving you like everything that's on the table.
Yeah. I guess it's like that Denzel, like they made it into a meme. He was like, I'm leaving here with something. Okay. Like even if it's a perfect offer, I'm leaving with something. Okay. I'm gonna throw something on the table that y'all gonna have to give me. Okay.
Oh
So
yeah, I mean something. I ask for training. additional training. I talk about like, hey, well, I know you can't do it now, but can in a year,
I
let's get it in writing that in a year we can increase that income.
Yes, yes. Now, Rico, I'm realizing that I should have did this, and this is the first episode. So everybody, y'all bear with me. Yeah, Rico is he's bearing with me with this first episode. I should have started off asking you about Rico Beans coaching. I did not ask this, and I apologize. Can you tell everybody a little bit about Rico Beans coaching and what it is that you do and how you bring value to your clients?
Yeah, so there's really two arms of my coaching program. I the Let me go back. My goal is to help people make more income and to do better, and have that freedom. And so whether it's the career, because your first income stream of the multi income streams is your job, and so I coach people on how can they, improve their performance. How can they go and
Mhm.
negotiate more income?
Yeah,
How can they build relationships and networks on the job so they can make more money, get that promotion?
yeah.
And then the second part of it is I do a lot of financial education
Hmm.
because I believe that, one, we have to create more income streams. A lot of people aren't struggling just because, they're not managing their money. A lot of people aren't managing their money, but a
Yeah.
lot of people just need to make a little bit more income. So how can we make more money?
I tell people that all the time. It's not. It is a such thing. You just not making enough money, especially the world we live in with inflation going up the way it's going up.
So how can you make more money? That's the goal.
Okay. All right. Good deal. And let's get into this book, Mr. Author.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So Rico is an author, and his book "You Don't Have to Die Poor," and I don't know why I did it like that, as if I'm on TV or something, and I needed to show it to y'all in this particular way. Congratulations on the book. There are lots of great gems. There are lots of topics that you talk about, and I wanted to kind of like go into some of that. And you say powerful strategies towards financial freedom and prosperity. It is Financial Literacy Month. And so I thought that this would be really, really good for us to like, just talk about your book a little bit because I want everybody to check it out. And I'm like, once again, super, super excited about it. What what was the mindset around you have a plethora of topics in here. Like it wasn't just personal finance at all. Like it goes into even real estate, other takeaways, life insurance, things of that sort. What was the motivation around creating this resource for everyone?
It was a challenge to myself. So like I said before, like I had a negative net worth, and
Uh-huh.
so I challenged myself to increase my net worth to being positive. And so everything in this book, like I did, like I started multiple streams of income,
Hmm.
different businesses.
Yeah.
I bought real estate. I made tough decisions on my finances to cut costs.
Hmm.
I got insurance, so everything in that book is are things that we went and did. I wanted to like prove that I could actually go do it, and I was able to do it. Like using the things in this book, I was able to actually turn my net worth from negative to positive to
Yes.
a very good net worth. Um, and so I'm thankful that I built a good network of people,
Yeah.
you know, that helped me to go do this stuff. So it's been awesome.
All right. And so I want to make sure that I put this up. But everyone, if you could tell everyone, even though it's on the screen, everybody as well, but you tell everybody where they can get this work of art at.
Yeah, you can absolutely go to my website, www.ricobeanscoaching.com/books.
Hmm.
And you can, from there, you can click, it'll take you right to Amazon where you can purchase the book. If you don't like Amazon, it's on Barnes and Noble as well. So
Okay.
uh, check out the book.
All right. And thank you for offering this to the world just because, of course, with us being financial people, we know that this is stuff that everyone needs to see. We just got to be creative in how we're going to get this in their hands. And so I'm hoping that, from everybody watching this and everyone getting a chance to hear your story and hear some of your takeaways, that they would also be interested in this book just because it really is a good resource. There's a lot of things in here even that I'm going to use as a resource when I'm out here in these streets educating everyone, so that way they can go and they can get the hard copy of the book.
Yeah, get the book for you. Anybody that you think needs good information. I think everybody
I'm
needs
not
good
even going to say that
information.
they think. Everybody.
Everybody needs good information on how to build wealth, how to get freedom and prosperity. And there's a
Absolutely.
lot of information in this book that is not easily found.
Yes. Yes.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing, right? There's so many people online talking about finances, wealth, money, all of the things, right? And you never know who do I go with? Like, who do I listen to? What's noise and what's the information that I actually should be taking in? So I want to tell y'all, this is actually this is information that you should be taking in, just because I know that there's a lot of people that are like, I'm trying things, I'm doing these things. I heard such and such podcast, or I did this over here, what they were talking about. So I really do want y'all to check out this book. You don't have to die poor, because you don't. And this is a mindset thing. I love the name, just because this absolutely is a mindset thing, because when you grow up in this, you think that this is the only place that you could be. It's that ceiling mentality, as we talked about earlier.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Rico, I know I didn't been taking a lot of your time. I am going to end our conversation just because I am, the chief mindfully rich officer of this whole mindfully rich brand. When you hear the word mindfully rich, what does that mean to you in your life?
I think it means being using your mind first,
Mm-hmm.
um, changing your mindset towards abundance,
Mm-hmm.
and using that mindset in order to go after the riches that you want, deserve, and need.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want everybody to be mindfully rich in their lives. And so, Rico, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for being my first guest on Mindfully Rich Conversations about money. This is something new that I said that I wanted to try, do different things. And I am diversifying my content a bit. And I just appreciate you being here. I appreciate what it is that you're doing in the financial space, and how you're helping people with progression, with gaining the freedom, gaining the stability, security, and all of the things that they need from their money. And so I just want to say thank you for that. Before you go, and before we go, can you let everybody know where they can find you at on social?
Absolutely. You can find me at Rico Beans Coaching on all
Okay.
platforms.
All platforms. So whatever it is that they use, and they can just go ahead and just do at Rico Beans Coaching.
I'm there.
All right. Good deal. Well, Rico, before we leave, are there any last words that you would like to end with before we end our conversation?
Yeah, I think the last thing I will tell anybody is that you are what you believe.
Mm.
So believe in yourself and go get it. You can create the lifestyle that you want. So take the steps today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Rico, thank you once again. I truly do appreciate you for being here. Thank you for, when I was reaching out for guests, I knew Rico was going to be there, and Rico was my first to schedule, and I was super super excited about that. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed my new series, Mindfully Rich Conversations About Money, which I will be bringing to y'all every week. Yes, I know y'all probably like, girl, we didn't heard that before. But child, I already got 4 recorded. Okay? 4 of them are already recorded. So every Friday, I will be bringing you the series of Mindfully Rich Conversations. Every Monday, you will get a regular episode of the Mindfully Rich podcast. So thank you once again for listening. Y'all remember, y'all is marketing. So share, share, share. We got to make sure that this thing go far and wide, especially if y'all rocking with the podcast. If you liking the content, make sure you are sharing this thing. Share it on all of the social media platforms. Just do your thing out there, okay? Because you've been doing it, all right? So I am forever blessed to have y'all as my listeners, to have y'all as my rich gang. And y'all already know what it is. That's it. Ain't got no more. And until next time, when I hit y'all with another one.